Shalom, welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Daf Yomi We, Ketuvoth, Part 2. The Tosfos mentions, as we discussed in the previous year, on Yud Amud Aleph, Tosfos brings down the case where Rabbi Akiva worked very, very hard. He found a mate mitzvah, and he brought him to the burial spot in the cemetery, and he was criticized because he should have buried him right there on the spot, because the mate mitzvah, dead person with anyone to bury him acquires the place where he dies. And Rabbi Akiva, with all his good intentions, made a mistake, and the rabbi said it was a serious mistake. It was not proper kavod hameis at all. So this is a very, very important point. He had his heart in the right place, but luckily he was not doing the right thing, and he's criticized for that. A few hundred years ago when the Hasidic movement started, that was really one of the key issues, where their claim was that there needs to be more heart, more lave, more excitement, more passion, more singing, more dancing, more of that spirituality. And the Gora's concern was, you have the heart in the place, getting closer to Yadus, but do you have the proper halachic framework? And one without the other is very dangerous. To have all the heart and the spirit and the dancing, if you're not bound by halacha, it's not guided by halacha, that could be a catastrophe. And that was one of the major issues that occurred during the early times of the Hasidic movement, and the Gora's criticism of the Hasidic movement was that there are other issues as well. The focus on Talmud Torah and the connection to the Rabbi, it was too strong a connection, and other shilas. But just what I'm mentioning now is over here, where our Sigurd said about Rabbi Akiva really had his heart in the right place, and still Chazal criticized his rabbis, criticized him in his early days because halachically was wrong. And that's what those who challenged the Hasidic movement wanted to make sure, that having the heart in the right place, and the singing, the dancing, the connection to Hashem may all be very nice, but that has to be anchored in halacha. And the example was, of course, one of the many examples that came out was singing, dancing, and davening, and all excitement about davening and kavanah. Was it in the right zman or not? So that's a classic example that the Mitnagid was saying, good excitement for the passionate tefillah, but it has to be anchored in halacha. And that was one of the early shilas in the movement when it first emerged, to make sure that there's a balance between having the passion and the commitment with clear halachic guidelines as well. Shalom.